Can I ask y'all something? Am I the only one paying attention? Am I the only one that's seeing what's happening in this world? Because there's some things that's unfolding in this world that I really don't even have words for. There's no articulation for it. It's like every week there's a record breaking heat wave. We know there's talk about all this AI development and strain on the power grid. And as a result, we have all these data centers popping up, and everybody's not happy about these data centers. And what really bothers me, and I don't know if you all see this for real, it's like people are not surprised about breaking news when they hear it now. Like they hear about the heat waves, or they may hear about somebody's missing, or there may be an earthquake, there may be a tsunami. And people just go back to scrolling on their phones. They go back to work because, we got to make our money. We got to make a living. The world don't shut down for nothing. People just keep going. Y'all don't think that's strange? It's like back in the day, people would at least stop and just kind of trace their steps to see where they went wrong, or how can we prevent this in the future, or let's say a prayer. But now it just seems like business as usual. That's what it seemed like to me. And to me, it just seems like everything is accelerating so fast and shifting. It's like you can't even keep up with it now. And a lot of people are just in survival mode now. They're just trying to pay their bills. They're trying to stay afloat. And I feel like it's only a small amount of people that's really paying attention. And me, I pay attention to nature. I don't know if y'all pay attention to nature, but I do. I'm always looking at the sky, the birds, the animals. I notice small things. And everything seems like it's out of balance now. The seasons don't seem the same anymore. You don't know if summer's going to stay until December. You just don't know. The flowers don't know when to bloom sometimes. The nights are staying warmer now. It used to cool off, but now it's just hot. And here in Alabama, we got bears that's showing up in people's backyard. An influx of bears, y'all. Look it up. People have been seeing bears in their backyards, walking down the street. Black bears in Alabama. The poor animals don't know what's going on. And I'm going to take it back to these data centers. Right here in Alabama, they are still building up these data centers. Now they got a data center out here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, near Brookwood. And the people are so upset about these data centers, and I don't blame them. I was listening on the radio about this data center being built in Brookwood, Alabama, and it caught me in my spirit with some of the stuff that they were saying. They have not approved the data center, but it has already received approval through the Alabama Department of Environmental Management. And what concerned me about this project, people don't know if their electric bills will go up. They don't even know if their water bills are going to be higher, because you all know it takes a lot of water and electricity to manage these data centers. But what caught me in my spirit was this. According to the plans, storm water from the construction site would drain toward Hurricane Creek and eventually go into the Black Warrior River. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, that's our water supply. And I'm not stating that the water could be polluted, but you just don't know. I don't like that it's going to be drained into the Black Warrior River. We don't know how this is going to affect nearby communities or people in the future. We just don't know. And that's why people are concerned. That's why I'm always paying attention to nature. And this world is reminding me of War of the Worlds. I don't even know if you all seen that movie. And I'm not saying we got aliens on the earth, but it just reminds me of a scene from that movie. It's like, because we want more and more, we're producing so fast and nobody's paying attention. In that movie, do you all remember? People were busy as usual, going about their normal routine, picking up their children, going to work, paying bills. It was just an ordinary day. Nobody thought that some tripods were beneath the earth fixing to get ready to come out of the ground. Did nobody expect that? Tom Cruise, he was going to pick up his children from his ex-wife. They had an awkwardness toward each other. The children didn't like him for real because they were not used to him, but it was just an awkward situation he was in. He thought he was just going to spend the weekend with his children and bring them back to the wife and the stepdad. That's what he thought. But little did he know. So it's like, the aliens were trying to change the earth to make it suitable for them. So they were consuming the humans' blood and making this red vegetation so they can eat and be nourished while they were going to be here. So they just making it all comfortable for them. But then here is when nature comes in. Nature comes into play because when the aliens started eating this vegetation and consuming the humans, they didn't have the immunities for it. And it's a scene in that movie that really just stayed with me. It just stayed in my spirit for some reason because nobody was really paying attention but Tom Cruise at the end. Now, these aliens, they had this force shield or something that was surrounding them, so the military couldn't even shoot them down. Nothing could penetrate them. They was high tech, but you all know they was consuming stuff on Earth, and they began to weaken. And you know what? Tom Cruise was the only one really noticing it. He was around all these big time military people. I think he was ex-military himself, but he was surrounded by all of these people in charge with all of these high tech equipment. And he was the only one paying attention. He was like, look at the birds. Look at the birds. Y'all remember that ending part? If you didn't see the movie, y'all go back and watch it. It's a really good movie. But the birds had started landing on the tripods, landing on the aliens. Now, remember, they could not land on it before because they had this force shield. Tom Cruise was like, look at the birds, trying to get the military's attention. And that's when the military started shooting at these things, right? So they can take them out. And I'm not saying that we have aliens, but we're living in a world that's changing and evolving and nobody's paying attention for real. There's things that's quietly unfolding that we really don't know how it's going to affect us in the future. We really don't know that. We already know the ozone has been affected. And in that movie, the birds had already saw what was happening. And in this world that we're living in right now that's changing so fast, we can't stay spiritually asleep. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Even though it may be heavy to hear, but sometimes you just got to listen and pay attention so you can know how to protect yourself and guard your heart. Being informed is being intelligent. And I'm not saying we're supposed to live in fear, but I don't want to sleepwalk through history. But am I the only one that pay attention to nature? Do you all see what's unfolding? It's like you can't really articulate it. Everything is moving and shifting so fast. And people are only thinking about how much money they can make. It's all about the Benjamins. Nothing's slowing down. Nothing's being evaluated. Am I the only one that's saying this? Once again, I want to thank you all so much for being a part of this community and hanging out with me on these videos. I always love to hear your comments, and I just want to thank you all so much for all the likes and for subscribing. Thank you so much for the hypes, and that's it, you guys, and I look forward to talking to you all in the comments.